I just watched the 2013 film known as Haunter, starring Abigail Breslin, and I recommend that you guys check it out. I was just checking this out, and the whole film is a huge mystery. Every single scene, like from the very beginning, you're learning some new things, and questions are being raised and answered pretty much the whole time as you go. You're trying to figure out what the heck is going on, what type of story is this, what's going to happen next. It's one of those ones where you got to pay close enough attention. And the entire time, the entire movie has all these different setups and things that are ready. You know that some things are going to be important because they focus on it at some point, but you're like, okay, what does that connect to? And for some of it, you might be able to figure out what is going on a little bit sooner than when some of the stuff is revealed. But regardless, by the very end, it all ties together pretty neatly in a bow. There might be like one or two things that might be up to question. Not everything is like fully answered 100%. The way that the world works and the way that the rules are, not all of it is fully explained. You kind of, some of it's kind of just left ambiguous in the air. It's the kind of film that I honestly don't want to spoil too much of it, because telling you too much about it could, ruin the experience for you. So I'm going to try to be as vague as possible talking about it at the moment, and then talk a little bit more about some of the more spoilery aspects, I suppose. But basically, walking you through this, you start off following Lisa Johnson. She gets woken up by her brother via walkie-talkie, and she gets up, goes throughout her day. It's like just an average day for her. And mom asks for laundry. She doesn't know where some of the clothes are. The brother's glasses are missing. There's a couple of subtle things that happen again in the beginning that set up and answer things for later as we go with this. And so it just seems like a normal day for her, whatever. But then she wakes up again, and it seems to start out the same. And she, this whole time, seems kind of jaded. Like from the beginning, she seems almost jaded with what's going on. She said, "Oh, ask me something tomorrow. You said the same thing yesterday. Whatever." Like, just seems like, okay, it's kind of weird. She is apparently in a time loop. I got to be able to talk about it. I've got to talk some of the spoiler stuff. So if you guys have not seen it, I recommend that you guys check it out. I'm going to be spoiling it for the rest of this. If you feel like checking out the video anyway before watching it, that's on you. That's all good though. She seems to have been in this loop for quite some time. She's not sure exactly how long she's been aware that she's been in this loop, but it could have been for years. It could have been just a little while. Who knows? But it seems like she's kind of jaded with it, accepting that this is kind of what her fate is. It's just every day is the same day. It's a Groundhog Day kind of thing, a Christmas every day type of scenario here, where you're in a little time loop experiencing the same stuff over and over again. But what changes, I think, and I this is one I'll have to rewatch to make sure that I'm getting the details right. And when it happens, I think she starts hearing whispers. She starts hearing somebody, whisper, "Lisa." And it's like, well, what the hell? What the heck? And at some point, she ends up going to the attic and gets a Ouija board out to see if there's any spirits there. There's a couple of other things that happen too along the way, but some of it I'm maybe remembering out of order, so I'm skipping around a little bit. She gets the Ouija board, and there is an answer when she asks, are you dead? Are you alive? Are you trying to contact me? Are you a spirit? Whatever. And she gets the answer of yes. And it's like, oh shit. And then she sees the reflection of a dude behind her and the TV. The TV cracks. There's like some weird stuff going on in the room with her. And then at night, you can see there's like a silhouette sort of, or there's like a shadow of like somebody standing in front of her door. And it's like, oh shit, what's going on here? And some of the events start to change in this loop. It's like that something happens. Her family doesn't do the same routine that they're normally doing, and the dad is acting kind of odd as well. Like, he's acting, very bizarre to her. And there's somebody at the door. And it's like, oh shit. And putting context in for you here. So the house, there's just surrounded by fog. Like, you'd think you're in the mist or something. There's just a whole bunch of dark fog. And she at one point tried to leave. But wherever she goes, no matter where she goes, she ends up just walking back to her house no matter what direction. So she's trapped there entirely. Cannot leave the house. That is just the only existence is around this house. But somebody comes to the door, and it's this dude, and she's already just like kind of freaked out by this. Like, oh shit, what the hell is that? And he says he's going to fix the telephones for him, but she goes and gets to him while they're alone, and he's like, how long have you been awake? And it's like, what? So there's somebody that knows about this stuff, and what the hell? And through the reflection of his sunglasses or his eyes or something. I think he's wearing sunglasses. She can see that she is like a skeleton. She realizes there that she is in fact dead. And so what I like with this big time is the Ouija board thing that they were doing is the opposite. It's like a reverse thing that they would normally do with this type of film, and it's called Haunter. You'd think that, there's a ghost haunting her, but it turns out she is the ghost, and somebody that is currently alive is trying to contact her and reach out with her. And we learn more about this as we go throughout the film. And I just really like this film, the way that it's all set up and how things are presented, and you get to discover it and roll out with it. They put the haunting ghost spirit thing on its head. There's these people that are trapped here in this time loop. They discover. I'm just gonna skip around a bit. I have to. I want to do like a more in-depth video on this one day, but if I'm just talking about my how I feel about it after I'm watching it, I'm just got to kind of get to some of the main points here. So you learn that this guy has kidnapped some girls over the years and killed them here, and has like kept some part of them here as well, essentially keeping their soul here, I guess. Like they would normally pass to heaven or hell or something, but this is like some type of purgatory where he's able to keep them here. And he's been dead for a long time too, it seems. And he's able to possess the bodies of the fathers that live there, and he ends up usually killing some of the girls that are in the family, killing the whole families basically the same exact way. And so he's able to keep these people in these loops, I guess. They show at the very beginning, like the very, very beginning, like bottles of what seems to be people in them screaming, and then like butterflies also trapped in jars. I'm not sure what the exact symbolism or something is going on here, what that's supposed to reference, other than their souls are trapped, but there could be something more with that that I'm just not aware of. And he, for some reason, is able to do this. He's like some powerful ghost, I suppose, because he has some level of control here on what these women can see. And he's just got a super strong connection to the house. And the ghosts that are connected here as well cannot leave the house. Even if they try, they'll just pass out, basically. They're not allowed to escape. They're supposed to pretty much run this simulation loop all through forever, I suppose, and not ever pass on to the next things. But it seems like when he asks her how long has she been awake, it sounds like this has happened before, where other ghosts have been awake before too, or whatever other spirits have been awake and are experiencing the time loop and just kind of living in the time loop. But I'm not sure how he deals with it. But it makes me wonder about that. Like, has this happened before? Is there rules to this and that you can follow, or like does he have the power to make them go back into the loop without being aware of it, or like how does that work exactly? So is there something he likes to do to change things up for fun with them? Like, what's the purpose of keeping them in the time loop if that's it? I mean, he just likes to have them around, I guess. I don't know. It's revealed as well that this guy, whose name is Edgar, as well, this ghost spirit dude, he when he was a kid, he killed his parents. He poisoned them, put a cloth over their mouth, and poisoned them a bunch. I mean, so he's been like a killer since he was younger and done horrible things to people, and he wants to continue to do that forever as long as people keep on moving into the house. At some point, he takes over their father and ends up trying to get new girls to have as his captives, I guess, with that. Even though he ends up taking out the whole families, so I'm not sure what if he has any like interest in just like disrupting families as well. I don't know. But anyway, when he confronts Lisa for the first time, he says, if you hear any of these whispers or something, ignore them. Just live your little loop." Which in a way he's pretty much presenting as this is a good option. You get to live with your family forever and ever and ever and ever. So you should be glad that you're able to be with your family. He doesn't say this, but that's the implication I'm trying to get with this, because he's trying to keep her. He's trying to get her to want to remain. I guess is that's my guess that his goal is. He doesn't want her to keep on snooping around. He wants her to be in the loop, but he can't. I guess he can't make her forget what she knows and has to be like just willingly go into the loop, I guess, herself. I'm not exactly sure like what he thinks would happen, because she ends up hearing some of the whispers again, and like I said, it's a person that's alive. So the person that's alive is a girl named Olivia, who currently lives in the house. She's the current person that lives in this house, and she found something of Lisa's, found a necklace of Lisa's, that's how she's able to connect with Lisa in some way, and she did some research on the house and everything, and was able to, and like the history and of the guy Edgar, and is like trying to contact Lisa anyway. So she was already doing her own research anyway. So we're not seeing all of her like she. Oh, Olivia pretty much kicks off the story in a way. She's what puts a lot of the events into motion, but we don't see it from her perspective. We see it from the reacting agent of Lisa, who then takes all the action that she can to try to figure out what to do and try to solve the stuff with Olivia. And yeah, they end up in a way kind of working together, but it's not as clear how much they're working together. But toward the end, it is more clear that they are willingly sort of helping each other. And even at one point, Lisa's able to possess her body, to possess Olivia's body, and see what's going on and learn more about what is happening and how to beat Edgar. And like, goddamn, this movie is so good. I'm curious if anybody else has seen this. I would imagine that some people have, but I don't know, because I want to talk about this with some people and what they think about it. Because like I feel like I can just ramble on about this one for a long time. And like I said, I'm going to make a video on this at some point. I keep on saying that about some videos or like some movies that I want to go more in depth on, but I'm trying to make an actual list of films to go more deep on, because this is one that is just I want to watch it again and pay a little more attention to certain details now that I've seen it once, and see what I can draw from that and see what else I can take from it, 'cause it's so fucking good. Because like I'm not even like everything that I've talked about so far doesn't even really cover like half of the movie. I mean, it kind of does, but not really, because there's so much, and even just scenes alone that are impressive. Like, so I guess I just got to end this one by saying I recommend that you guys go and see it. It right now, it's at the time of that I'm recording this, and it'll probably be there when it's up to. It's on Tubi TV. I think it's on Amazon Prime as well. It might be, but it's at least on Tubi TV, which is free to watch. That's where I saw it. So go check it out. I think it's really good. It's not like, the best movie ever, but it's the first type of mystery movie in a long time to get me engaged in what's happening and following the story and whatnot. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and have a great rest of your day.